to see dead people.
Welcome to Blondes and Booze. You are about to embark on a journey, one that often leads to more questions than answers. But fear not, your host, Krista, Aaron, and Brandy have the experience, the perseverance, and yes, even the gifts to pull back the veil and allow us to glimpse the other side. They will share not only their experiences, but will introduce you to world-renowned researchers and experiencers to help you find answers in the murky waters of what we call the paranormal. Their bonds with each other reach far beyond friendship, resulting in a pull no punches approach to the many subjects they explore. Their goal? To open eyes, hearts, and even minds to what lies on the other side, and the answers residing there.
Hey everybody, welcome.
Welcome.
Happy Thursday.
It's Thursday.
Thank you, Michael, for joining us tonight.
Thank you for allowing me to join you again. I guess I haven't done anything to get kicked off the show yet.
No, you're always welcome on here anytime. For sure.
Well, thank you.
Brandy,
But we don't. But like I was going to say, but we don't have you on as a guest tonight. You are actually a co-host.
I'm part of the gang tonight.
You're part of the gang, which is awesome.
You
I can
are.
ask questions.
Tonight's show is called Blondes and Balds.
Blondes and balls.
Well, we got 50-50, right? Well,
There we go.
I have the wig. I was going to grab it, but.
Oh, no. You should have. You should have.
Yeah, that's all good. You want to remind everybody what to watch this week, Brandy, and then we'll go ahead and just get the show rolling.
Yeah, if I can remember them all, because, we're getting quite crowded,
Yes.
on the Texas Front Porch team. What is today? The 11th. Okay, starting Monday, Texas Front Porch will now be showing at 8 p.m. Central. So make sure you tune into that with the better co-host. That's me. It's not Tex. It's me. On Monday nights. On Tuesday nights, it is at 8 p.m. with Beyond BMR and his co-host, Krista. On Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central, it's Donnie Cho Says Stuff. And at 8 p.m. Central, it is Inhumanoids with Barton Nunnelly and his lovely wife, Letitia. On Thursdays at, of course, noon, that's noon Central, it's Brunch with Bigfoot, Michigan Rob. And I don't know who his co-host is yet, but he'll let us know if he has one at all. We haven't figured it out yet. But Texas... his work had changed, his work hours had changed, so he'll no longer be able to do that next week. Thursday evening, of course, it's us, Blondes and Booze, at 8 p.m. On Friday at 8 p.m. Central, it's us again with Blondes, Booze, and the Woo. Saturdays, we don't have nothing on Saturdays, ladies and gentlemen. Our new time for Infamous Minds will be on Sundays. It will be Sundays, and I believe he said 8 p.m. Central. But don't forget our new show that has come out with Randy and myself. It's called Truth or Tinfoil. It airs on Sundays at 5 p.m. Central. So make sure you tune into all those shows.
Yep, absolutely. All right.
That's a mouthful.
It is. It is. Let's just get this show rolling here. I'm going to go ahead and bring KD up. He looks ready back there.
Yeah, we only have him for a short time.
I am ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Hello, how are y'all?
We're good. How are you?
I'm good.
Well, I appreciate you coming on here tonight.
That's good. It's good to be here. It's good to be here.
Yeah, we haven't seen you in a while. I think, honestly, the last time I saw you was at the Ray County Museum, and you set the fire alarm on.
Was that the last time? Was that the last time? No.
No. It was it was Fall into Supernatural.
Yeah, I came down. Yeah, I came down. I didn't see how long, but I brought KD. Was it KD and what's her name? Oh man,
Uh-oh.
I can't remember the other girl's name. Oh dang!
Are you talking about Jessica Potter?
Yes. Oh god dang it.
Mermaid Medium.
Yes, Jessica. Hey man, I got blown up a couple times downrange. All right. Never been quite right.
There you go. There you go. No, I'm one that can say that I knew you before you were ever on TV.
Yeah, I've known you for a while, man. Like as long as I've known Greg Myers, like you're in PTF, all of us were.
Yeah.
We were all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Brandy came along a little later.
Yeah.
With Midwest and them, and you know, and yeah, obviously PTS, my peoples.
Yep.
Still.
Yeah.
I'm a very much member of PTF, and yeah, that's kind of who I do events, you know, like public ghost hunts. Supernatural Inc. We do that too. Do small things up in this Kansas City area, you know, at the greater Kansas City area, but like you know, we still do you know, Pythian Castle and all those staple places with Paranormal Task Force. So,
Cool.
And know you very well, Brandy. Michael, just met you today. You seem like all right, dude.
Wait till you get to know me a little bit.
Oh. All right.
He's got this rebel deck and it changes him completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to talk about
Air Force. Don't get me started.
Yeah, you both are veterans, and thank you both very much.
Absolutely. But let's start with. I mean, we have a lot of people who are on the cryptid side of things that are in our chat. They're not familiar with what you do, which is fascinating, by the way. But they're not familiar of what exactly you do.
Shoot, me either. I do. Yeah, I do. I mean, I do a lot. You know, I do a lot of different stuff. I focus on what's called ITC. It's instrumental transcommunication. It's using like electronic devices to communicate with potentially the dead, or in my opinion, we don't know what we're talking to exactly. And for everybody who says thank you for your service, thank you. I enjoyed my time, served my country, did my part, and enjoyed it. Anyways, but yeah, so like I was telling y'all earlier, I've had, you know, Ben reach out and say, hey, I'm doing this show. It's a UFO series that we're doing. We need a bunch of different equipment that does these specific things. And you know, that wasn't cryptids per se. I haven't had nobody reaches out to me for like Bigfoot hunting gear.
Well,
you know,
we were just talking about that backstage. So
right, and you know,
out.
well, I think the reason for that is, you know, stop me if y'all want to move on to something else. But
no, you're good. Keep talking. Okay,
so I think the reason that nobody reaches out that much to me is because they don't. I'd say a large percentage of people who believe in you know, Bigfoot or cryptids, they don't think they're paranormal. They think that they're actually biological, like, you know, normal
flesh and blood
organisms, right? They're just unidentified species or thought to be extinct species in some cases, or, you know, things like that, right? They think that they're perfectly like physical, tangible, exist within the boundaries of our physics. But there's also people who think that they're interdimensional beings. Some people do. Some people think that they're, you know, interdimensional. Some people think they're extraterrestrial. I tend to think maybe that interdimensional maybe is, I would say for me that's plausible, right? Because if they're sixth or seventh dimensional beings, then they can, you know, travel pretty much however they want in time, and that would seem to you like they were appearing or disappearing, you know, and not only through time but also parallel realities that split off from different points or whatever.
Yeah.
That's like when you get into the higher dimensional beings. And so at those dimensions, we wouldn't even perceive we couldn't see them, right? And they couldn't see us.
Right.
It's all the way up to like, I think 11th dimension, and that's God, or no, that's beyond God. That's the ultimate dimensional being, but the 10th dimensional being would be God, right? The complete full freedom to move within time and space, and all the way back to the singularity or whatever. So
Right.
I think that's my layman understanding of interdimensional beings. So I think that's an interesting concept, right? So what if these things are not like, they may not be super advanced, it may not be a super advanced species or something like Bigfoot, for example, or Sasquatch, whatever you want to call like, it may not be that they're super technical beings. I mean, they're running around naked. They're just covered in hair. They're not like Chewbacca. They don't have no gun belts. They're not like, ain't got no blasters or nothing. They ain't got no tech. They're just big, hairy, naked things running around. So, I mean, what if they're like, they have a wisdom, obviously, this beyond our understanding, which you would if you were a higher dimensional being,
Right?
So I tend to think that's a very plausible thing. They're just they don't know. They know what they're doing, and that's how they are able to just completely avoid capture or whatever. Because I think the fact is, or I mean, it's probably debatable, but the numbers that they would have to sustain an actual population in the wild, hidden, as far as we've encroached out into what used to be like nobody would go to these places, but we can see everything now, satellites. So, like, you would see a population of these things, and that's why I tend to think that they're either some sort of supernatural or interdimensional thing. In that case, I come into the picture, right? Because maybe you can talk to them through ghost boxes. I don't know.
We did. Hey, let me tell you, we did take your nanocom to Land Between the Lakes.
Oh yeah.
And we were out there. It was a cryptid thing, and we got responses.
Cool.
I heard my name.
Nice.
Letitia, our friend Letitia, heard her name through it. So
right, and considering that where we were, we weren't getting any radio signals whatsoever. We were just getting pure white noise.
Right. That's cool.
Yeah.
You said nanocom too, so that would be FM. That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, obviously, if you were a long way away from radio stations, FM, you're not going to get much of anything out in the middle of nowhere. Some places, but yes, obviously where you were, that's cool. That's when it's the best, right? When you get a response and you get nothing.
I remember that because you taught me that. You taught me that a few years ago. You're like, we always like to say we hear something when we're listening to the nanocom, but if we're getting radio stations, it may be like a false answer. But you said when you are getting straight white noise and then you hear a response, that you're hearing something for sure.
Yeah, you definitely feel like it's more valid. It feels like a more valid, and especially if it's something, that you can hear, make out, and so yeah. So and who knows? A lot of times what we're talking to, and these cryptids, a lot of these cryptids may be of an interdimensional origin, and we may be speaking to things like interdimensionally, right? Like, because essentially an interdimensional being, a higher dimensional being, would seem like a ghost to us. They could if they wanted to, right? They and I think that's a possibility, right? Is that I don't know that it's something that you achieve. It's weird, right?
Yeah.
Like but anyway,
Yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying. Let's go and talk about something that I know that you're really well known for, and we've actually done some lives with it. Terry Mosby comes to a lot of our things, and is the helmet.
Yes. Speaking of interdimensional stuff, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, which you had featured on one of the TV series you were on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, several. It's been on several shows, so it's they did a really good little bit on it on was it 28 Days Haunted.
Mm-hmm.
But they actually had a cool little CG like image of it and stuff, and they were explained it really well. Probably more concisely and accurately than I could. Like I'm gonna want to drag it out and explain it certain things too much.
Yeah.
But they did a really good job. Watch 28 Days Haunted. That's a good show, and they've got a lot of good equipment because some of it's fun.
I have a picture I'm going to put up. It's of you and Brandy, and Brandy is wearing the helmet.
I am wearing the helmet. I tested it out.
Yep. Right there.
I'm like,
there we are.
She's gonna freak out. That's the look on my face. Like she's not gonna be able.
Oh, and she
there she went.
There she
back.
I'm back. Yeah, just a second.
So,
no, I love
this at, guys.
Was this Ash? No,
that was Ashmore Estates on that one. Yeah.
That was a good place to use the nanocom too because you don't get that exterior radio. But anyway, the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've done a lot of work with the helmet at Ashmore State. Robin Terry has his own helmet,
Yeah.
And so we've done tons of experiments out there.
What exactly does the helmet do?
I was just going to ask. I'm like, what does that helmet?
It's the essential idea behind it is to create like low intensity magnetic fields that are oscillating, and the reason for the series is that it moves through them. So you're moving the magnetic field, but you're moving a different frequency field in each coil in like a sequence, right? And the sequences are match up with the frequency that your brain works at a lot during different brainwave outputs. So your alpha, beta, theta, gamma, delta waves. So the idea is in the LEDs is like brain entrainment. So that's kind of a way to lull you into a meditative state. So the LEDs actually flash at a frequency. It starts out at a certain break. I can't really remember the sequence that I made, but it starts out like in a awake, simulating your brain waves in an awake alert state, and then it takes you down into like gamma waves with the with the frequency that it flashes, and that your brain will try to sync up to the LEDs, right, to an exterior stimulus. So like a flashing light or sound. A lot of people will use binaural beats also, and I think binaural beats is fine, but that's kind of like a parlor trick a little bit. You know what I mean? You're tricking yourself into hearing a certain frequency when you could just play this frequency that you want to perceive in the first place through both headsets. I get it. It's an interesting, little brain weirdness, I guess, but like, does it actually help you in meditation? Maybe. I don't really. I haven't noticed a useful. It hasn't really helped in the helmet experiments, in my opinion. So I kind of abandoned it. But I had the binaural beats also was part of the system at first too. So it's kind of a mix between like this dude named Mitch Altman made this thing, these glasses, and they were God, what do you call them? I can't remember what he called them, but they used brain entrainment, or not even brain entrainment. It was just flashing lights, and they would flash at different frequencies. And he had like these little printouts that you put over the lenses, and it had swirls, and you'd see all kind of crazy stuff because it's basically tricking the optical part of your brain into like not knowing what's going on, so trying to make something out of the nonsense. And so make you see.
You see figures, or I've watched someone where they were using your helmet and they saw aliens.
Yeah. Well, but right, there's people who wore, and I feel like that's their. Do they know they're aliens? I don't know how they could know they're aliens, but they perceive them to be aliens, right? They were obviously alien to them. Do we know if they were extraterrestrial alien? That's kind of but they saw something that was monster-like in their description, and to them it appeared, that's what an alien looks like. And maybe they may have seen something similar in a movie or something. I don't know. There's one person that did it at Ashmore. This was one of the first tests too. Said that it was a huge black like shadow type being, but it was like mantis like, had like mantis like limbs, and it was so tall that it was like coming through the doorway at him, and it had to like crouch down and spider through the door, because dude yanked the helmet off and like ran out of the room. You remember that, Krista? I know you were there for that. That was Jeremy.
Yeah, I remember that. It was at Shoal Creek, if I remember correctly.
No, that was Ashmore. That was Jeremy.
Ashmore? Okay.
Remember?
Well,
yeah,
that was way back.
Yeah.
Right, but when I used it now, it's easier for me to meditate because I've done it for years. It's easy for me to meditate, so I can use sound, and then I can use lights. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, the lights are just kind of there to help you. Relax.
Get into it does. And when I was wearing it,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay. And it's when I was wearing it, I did notice that I saw shadows that were moving in the room.
Yeah.
But I'm not quite. Yeah, I probably would have seen them anyway because of Ashmore being Ashmore Estates. But it just it calmed me down.
Maybe that might have been something that was a layer that was added to whatever medium type ability that it was
more vivid.
Right. I think in a lot of cases, I've had psychic mediums say different things about the helmet. Never anything negative. Mostly positive, actually. Several actually have told me that they felt like a sense of better control over what they could, at a location. Several spirits or whatever trying to communicate with them simultaneously. They could kind of mute the individuals as they wanted to. So that, and I have had like at least two people. I'm pretty sure it was three actually. I could look up the videos, but they all said the same thing, and I thought that was cool. And then that's probably the most positive one. But the funny thing is that some people that use the helmet that never claimed or never thought they had any psychic ability claimed that they continue to have like see things and feel like they were like having medium-like experiences for several weeks following, after wearing the helmet. I'm sorry I didn't get to see what popped up.
Yeah, I put some of the comments that people were making. We actually have a question here. Let me go to it about the helmet.
All I can tell you is that it did.
First question, War Criminal 7 asks, does KD make a device with lower white noise?
Now, lower white noise, are you talking about like VLF type white noise, or are you talking about like just a low, like
I can say that He was with us the night at the Land Between the Lakes with your nanocom, so maybe that's what he's referring.
No, I do have other boxes like my ink box, and it's got shortwave, and shortwave is my preference.
Yeah,
I prefer shortwave.
Yeah,
and you do get a lot of white noise because there's very few stations broadcasting on shortwave.
Yeah, and then next question. 39 Sean Mans asks, so can the helmet be used to cause someone to have lucid dreams or out of body experiences?
That's work that that's the reason why I made that, why I kind of in my own way reverse engineered the God helmet and then kind of added a few elements and came up with it. That's why I did it. It's because I wanted to try all these different things that I haven't got to. I mean, I've kind of done I've slept with it on, and I won't say I had a lucid dream with it on, but I definitely had. I saw something as I was falling asleep. I had I was awake and I saw something at the foot of the bed, and that was my kind of validation to keep working on it. This was before anybody else had worn it, and I made sure I was. In my opinion, the situation has to be, you have to be completely alone, nobody else in the room. You have to have that. You can't have that safety net, because part of interacting with, in my opinion, paranormal beings or the other side is you have to let go of your safety nets. So no comforting somebody in a room with you. A camera's fine, so they can monitor what's going on, but you can't have that sense of safety. You have to give in, sort of. And that's why I don't cover the eyes usually. A lot of times with the God helmet experiments, they would cover the eyes. I'm sorry, am I answering the question?
You did.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because I'll keep on going sometimes and I don't remember if I actually fully answered the question. Okay,
that's all right. Well, you do. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry. Question. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that you do other experiments that are, that you use light with.
Yeah. And also there's a few dozen people that have bought helmets, or they kind of paid into producing more helmets. Is what it's just just most times whatever they could give me, and I would make them a helmet. This had to be people I know really well, and I don't sell them. They're not. You won't find them on the website. It's more to support the work, that because them coils are expensive, dude. It's a lot of copper.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know, Michael, you have some questions also for KD.
I did, out of curiosity, because I've seen your shows. The one especially out in Montana. I watched that series. That was very, very intriguing.
Thank you. We worked really hard on it.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, I don't watch many of them, but yours, it was just the authenticity of your show with Dave and Cindy. It was just, I don't know, it was just a good combination of people. And I like the way you go about your...
I love Dave and Cindy. Yeah, I love working with them. And it was a great experience. And I'm glad to have got the opportunity to get to do it.
Yeah, because again, the way you guys went about the investigation, and that's kind of like my curiosity question. Like when you go into those, do you get the background on the location, or are you going in with no knowledge about what's going on, in a certain place?
Not when we were in Butte.
Okay.
Normally I do. I'm not I ain't trying to go in and be psychic superstar. I want at least, I'm usually working on building stuff or whatever, so I don't have a lot of time to research history and all that. But I like to have a brief rundown of any big events or anything But my big thing is I like to get in the place and I like to look around and I like to exploit like something that may be specific to the location for the investigation. Like it could be the geology, like where it's at. Is it close to train tracks? Is it,
right.
Is there a cemetery on the property somewhere? Are there tombstones somewhere? Is it a haunted item type situation? I like to get in and take all that into account. So I don't like to go in blindfold, but here in the Butte situation, we didn't have a choice because they were calls that were coming up. Like I didn't know where we were going from day to day for the most part of it. Now, some of it wasn't calls. It was leads that we had kind of, gotten to that point. So we were like, okay, we're going to go in this direction. Like I think with the mines, right?
Right.
And which was the last episode, just as an ITC kind of, I don't want to say expert. I want to say, I'd say I'm one of the, I like to think I'm somebody in the ITC community, right? Like, I'm not trying to brag. There's other people that have been doing this longer than me, relatively longer. But I'm up there, right? And to get what I got on my Inkbox X in the mine, in that last episode, that was an impossibility. It truthfully, because I was what was it, 350 or was it 400 feet down under the ground at that point, right? We were way down. And me and Cindy were in this this crazy little off, it was they dug a hole in the wall, and that's where we were in the very back of that. And there was nail sticks. So I actually attached the antenna to the nail. I made a little spider. You didn't get to see all that, unfortunately, but made a little spider copper antenna on those. I used the location itself. You want to try and tap in because stone tape theory, whatnot, right? The walls tell stories, the objects that are there tell stories, potentially.
Right.
They may hold some sort of memory. So that's what you want to do. In my opinion, that's one of my approaches with using a ghost box. Touching the antenna is a way of, it might be kind of you're kind of opening yourself up, I feel like, to a degree more, because not just the fact that you're becoming the antenna, but you're also it's a way of saying, use me to amplify your message, communicate through me like this. So yeah, I like to know a lot about the location, and because I like to really dig into the location itself, not just the history. Marble floors, cool. Are the walls made of limestone? That's a a interesting thing, right? Limestone is big in the stone tape theory. That could play a part in a residual haunting or something like that. Anyway. Right.
I've got your wife sent me some clips.
My wife's a lovely person. She's a
I'm gonna
know what they are.
Yeah. I'm gonna show the one clip here. Let's see if it'll let me share it here. I don't know.
Better be a good clip, Katie. Better not be that one, and you know what I'm talking about.
Well, this one, let me go to it here. I had it brought up on my email, ready for it. Okay.
It's hard to run the show and do the show, ain't it?
Yes,
that's what I have to do too.
Very
man.
much so is.
You're trying to pull up websites and stuff and keep things going. So you want me to keep talking while you're looking?
Keep talking because I had it up and then.
Okay, you do your thing. So I think ITC is not like something that obviously it's not beyond scrutiny, but it's not something that you're going to prove is of what, like, whether or not it's kind of a belief based thing, right?
Right.
And has it worked for you? If you've used it and really given it a shot, using ghost boxes, and hell, you know what? When you're recording for EVP, guess what? You think you're being the most pragmatic, realistic, like skeptical ghost hunter in the world. Guess what? You're practicing ITC stuff, because that's part of the foundation of ITC. You're using a digital or a recorder of some type to record voices that you can't hear with your own ears that come through electronically. And
this is one. I'm going to play it. I got to share my screen so everybody can see. Hold on. Share screen.
Share it.
And
send
that
it.
Way
Full send.
You all can hear and see it. So hold on.
We want to hear and see it.
All right. Can you guys see what's on there?
I see my big old head.
Okay. There we go.
Who heard Dave the other night? Was that you? Evil?
Yeah.
Are you telling me that there's something evil here? I'll slit your throat. Pete.
I wish you could slow that down, because it said it really fast. Like
yeah.
I'm kind of an audiophile, like I'm like a enthusiast of weird noises, electronic, weird music, synthesizers, and like Euro rack craziness and stuff. I'm into all that. So like I hear a lot of things that are there, but they they're fast. Like that last part, I'll slit your throat. It was like several different audio, like several different frequencies, I guess.
War Criminal 7 asked, what device were you using in that clip?
That one was I think that was in the cabin. That wasn't when Dave got attacked. That was before Dave got attacked. That was when I want to say that was when me and Cindy were in the cabin where Dave got attacked. And that would be this big it was a truck speaker. Most of the stuff I built like in Butte, like using things sourced from Butte. So this was like a truck speaker box that I had bought, and so it had like they weren't like subwoofers, they were speakers. It was a speaker box. It was carpeted and everything. It was nice. Okay, it was clean. And I got a good deal on it too. So but so I had used I thought it was interesting that the cabin, it was the shanty, it was the shanty town, they were 10 lean-tos pretty much. 10, everything was metal, tin, whatever would hold the walls together. So I want to say it was a shortwave radio scanning. And it was connected, like the antenna was connected to the building, so it was grounded so it was using the building as kind of a conduit, in my opinion, in my spiritual woohoo opinion.
Katie just said it's a RoboBox.
No, that wasn't a RoboBox. That one wasn't.
Okay.
Sorry, hon. That was the truck. That was the truck speaker box. Trust me, I know, because I spent a lot of time setting it up. And yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, that was actually before then I moved on to the other cabin, and then I think Dave came in there with Cindy. Cindy stayed in that cabin, and I went to go do a micro. This was the first microcom. I went to go do a microcom session, and that's when it started talking about hurting Dave, or and then that's when KD, it's like pitch black, camera lights, can't see anything. I don't know where anybody's at. I just hear people screaming and hollering. Thought somebody got stabbed or something.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Craziness.
Well, right. Well, you know, remember
Dave's in the
when
floor.
you were.
I'm like, what
gosh.
what's going on? What y'all do to Dave?
Right.
And Cindy's cursing the camera guys out like, somebody get an ambulance. I'm like, Cindy, they're getting an ambulance. Calm down. They're doing their job. They can't put the cameras down. They have to keep. So all of that, none of that made it. Obviously, there's a lot. There was a little bit of that in there though. A little Cindy spiciness there. She got really spicy right then. Just like, don't mess with her people.
Yeah.
And but yeah, Dave was. Yes, I checked him out. You know, I got a little bit of combat lifesaver support experience and from the Army, so I made sure he wasn't bleeding.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That was quite an episode.
He said, the way he explained it, it sounded like he got shot in the stomach.
Yeah. And that same thing that Dave, you said the shot. So there's a mutual friend of yours of mine that lives over in Kansas. I won't say his name. I think you know who I'm talking about. But he was at the Pythian Castle. Do what?
I said, shit, I know a lot of people. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to curse. I know a lot of people live in Kansas.
Sally House.
Oh, okay.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, okay.
Well, he was over at the Pythian Castle
he's all right. I don't have no problem
theater. Yeah, in the theater. And he actually got shot as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what's that called?
I have no idea.
There's a form of psychic ability where like maybe
psychometry.
Psychometry is where you hold
an object.
Something.
Yeah.
It's what would it be called? Anyways, I can't think. I think there's a word for it where you feel. I guess it would be an empath. Your empathic ability. Yeah. Like a level of empathic where you actually feel damage that people have taken in a specific time, tragic moment.
Paranormal Pixie says psychokinesis.
Psychokinesis is moving objects with your mind. That's just telekinetic. Psychokinesis, kinetic. Yeah. That's moving things or manipulate molecules to the point where you can set things on fire, actually, which is also, in my opinion. Well, but that's something else too, though.
Yeah.
But no, I know what you mean because it's rare that I've set that barrier or limit with spirit. I'm like, I don't want to feel what you feel. Every now and then I'll get if somebody had a heart attack, I'll get like a split second feeling to go along with the thought that they're giving me that they passed from this condition. And I thoroughly believe everybody has these abilities. It's not just for mediums.
You think it's intentional on their part, or you think?
I think it is not to harm you, though. But it's not to harm. It's just to give you an idea, a form of validation that this is me. I passed in this place. This is how I passed. So maybe he was getting a sense of that feeling. Okay, this guy was shot. He experienced the sensation of that, but it quickly fades.
Could it be? But could it sometimes? I get that sometimes a spirit is aware of its existence and that they're trying to actively communicate with you and get through. But are there times also where it's merely like a byproduct of that thing happening there? It's like a residual haunting that plays over, where it's not something inducing it on you for a specific reason. It's just it happened. Like you feel it because they felt it right then and there.
Right.
Maybe
it's just like
at a similar time, and it may not even be like, or it could be just the existence of that spirit there, experiencing that maybe that moment over and over again. And I think if they could be reached maybe by some people, but those are the ones that look like residuals, but aren't residual. A residual would be just like a film.
Right.
There's no over and over. That person's not in the TV. Right. Like living this thing. It'd be like Groundhog's Day, like the worst version of hell Groundhog's Day you could probably think of.
Right.
Right.
But yeah. So,
right.
But then, I think that's an interesting point that about feeling things that spirits felt is that there's several different reasons you may feel that.
Right.
Yeah.
Could be intentional, could be accidental. Like
Right. Just part of the
Right.
energy. So it's like when you go into a room where people have been arguing, you can feel that energy. It's not happening now, but it's that residual.
Yeah.
So again, this is all theoretical. I mean, even mediumship. I mean, the only way I got to validate it is when somebody sitting across from me validates what I'm giving them. I mean, who knows what's the big picture? I don't think anybody will know until we're there.
No. Right.
Right.
No. Yeah. I think. I tend to follow leads. Right. Like
Right.
if I get a response through the ghost box, I'll follow it. Yeah. It's a response to the ghost box. It's debatable as to whether or not it was a ghost, right? Like, but I'm going to act on that. I'm going to move on that lead as if it were leading me in a direction. And a lot of times you'll find out interesting stuff about a location by following those leads. Yeah. So it does kind of take a level of belief. You guys, put your toe in put a little, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I've made the helmets, because I wanted to be able to see and experience things that psychic mediums could. And if people could see God wearing the helmet, then maybe I could see ghosts.
Right. I get it. I did something that I did not know about you, and Katie told me that you do automatic writing.
Well, I guess it's more drawing, right? Like I like to draw in the dark with Cindy taught me like using black paper and I always like charcoal anyway, but I always use black charcoal on white paper. But then Cindy, she would do a lot of white charcoal and dark paper, and she actually one during that last investigation in the mine, I wanted her to use a ghost box, and she said, "Fine, I'll use the ghost box, but you have to try automatic writing." So I tried it, and it was interesting. The results were interesting.
I have she sent me your
the drawing is more.
I was going to say Katie sent me 2 pictures, and I'm going to show them real quick that you drew. So this is one of them.
That is cool.
Did I draw that? I don't know where I drew that. I think the best one.
I got another one here.
Is that the Beatty Mansion?
Beatty Mansion is what it says on the bottom.
Okay. Yeah, I draw those in the dark.
Wow. All in the dark.
Yes. Preferably.
Wow. How long have you been doing that?
Started in Butte.
Yeah,
Wow.
I noticed towards the end of that series, you were starting to draw.
Yeah. There was actually a few times when I was like at the homeowners case that we did next to the railroad tracks. Gosh dang, slipping my mind. And oh man, they were super cool people too. Anyway, that case, I was in the basement. And that was when the flashlight thing was going off, and I was like, man, I don't use flashlights for talking to ghosts, but this thing's trying to use a flashlight.
Right.
Talk to me, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with it. It was weird. That was weird.
Well, I do have to ask you a question though, because I mean, I have a picture, but before you went on, I think it was you went to Butte. It was before you went to Butte. And we were at the Pythian Castle. You were testing out some experiments there with lights and fog machines. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we were doing all this stuff to see if something would happen.
Pictures. One and then the other one later. Oh, it was like a
right
later.
Right. So I do have that picture Lori McGuire took during your experiment, which I found absolutely fascinating and scary all at the same time.
I'm going to put it up.
Let's see.
Go ahead.
Let's throw that up on the screen, Krista.
There we go. Got it.
Bam.
Looks like that's down in the basement.
Bam.
Yeah. Do you see it
can't
right
see it.
there on the
No,
side?
there. Yes,
It's
now,
like
yeah,
that.
right
Bam.
there, right. Now, I wish we had the other picture also, which was, I think that was a guest that took the other
It
picture.
was.
And so we don't, it might be on the Pythian, or I mean, the Paranormal Task Force page somewhere. Man, that was several years back though. I think it's 2 or 3 years ago. But yeah, the picture before that, what was it? Was it there was nothing there, or was it something over here moving that way? And then this is this more solid. I can't remember, but this is an awesome picture because there was nobody in front.
Mm-mm.
There was
Mm-mm.
nobody like even close to.
Yeah.
There's
There's
like a
nothing
line.
reflective.
I
Yeah.
told everybody, you know, don't pass this line because this is where, you know, the laser stream was spread out, right? And so yeah, that picture was taken like directly. Yeah, nobody could have stepped in front.
Yeah. And
Hey,
I noticed
Terry?
you use that. I noticed that you use that technique in Butte in I think it was a bathroom. I think he used it in a bathroom. That was really cool how you got in a
really
small
cool.
space.
Yeah. The guy, you know, that I saw, that I could clearly see in that, it just stood out to me. So and I was going through frame by frame, you know, looking at all the individual pictures. And man, when I hit that one, it was like there was nothing before that. And like a split second later, there's this face, and it almost looks like something like drawn, like hand drawn, like you hand drew it in the freaking smoke. And but that's a 100% picture. I still have that picture, and I would give that picture up to be analyzed. Don't even care. Like, it's 100% legit. There's nothing, no manipulation of that. When you enhance it, it obviously looks even more clear. But you know, I saw that right away. And so that's the second time actually I've used that. I did that in Morgan City.
Okay.
It was a little bit more difficult there. The fog wasn't as useful because, I mean, we were still able to use it, but it was outside, you know, right on the bank of a little reservoir type lake.
Yeah.
So you had a breeze, and yeah, man, the fog wasn't fun. The plasma arc wasn't working right. I had to like improvise and basically built this improvised taser, like juiced up taser, and used that as Tesla cool instead.
Paranormal Pixie,
the Jacob's ladder. Sorry.
Paranormal Pixie's asking, what was the environment like, and how did it feel, or did you notice that after the fact?
Environment. Where at?
I think
Butte?
I believe so.
In Butte? Oh, okay. So here's my opinion on like a Butte. Butte is a crazy, like haunted ass little town, dude. And what we did, we helped, but we just like fixed one thing. It's just like any other society. It's like a society. There's so many issues, and this, you know, this is a town that's this issues on issues on issues over you know, over 100 years worth, and there's a lot that has gone on there. So we fixed in my opinion, a tiny piece, maybe. And we kind of put some of that to bed, but there's a lot. I mean, just like any town like that, where there's so many layers of traumatic history, you know, big things happening. You know, you got massive, like geological structures are in the area. You got the railroad tracks. You got the continental divide. You got so many things come together in that place, and so many mining towns are like that also. And that kind of, I'm on a mining town thing. Like, I'm always attracted to them. I've been to lots of them. Done a lot of extensive work, and there's a lot of similarities. But yeah, no, there's tons of work left to be done in Butte. the air, like in that particular situation, we were able to help everybody who came to us. I feel like
Good
we
deal.
were able to, do to at least help them better be able to deal with it in some situations.
Sure. Sure. Amy asked real quick, why do train tracks seem to amplify paranormal activity? And I do know, I mean, if you got to go, KD, because I know you got a date with your son, we can answer that question if you.
I thought I saw something over here.
You probably did.
Tripping,
as many
man.
experiments as you do in there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess open a portal or something down here. No, I'm sorry.
Amy asked, why do train tracks seem to amplify paranormal activity?
Okay. I don't know if it amplifies it. I think it may like retain it better in some cases. I think it also may be a conduit, like okay, because train tracks can put off an EMF field, right? Like if you test some trains, they will have a spike on them. It may be small, but I mean, we're talking, your brain can be, things in your brain can change. Your brainwave patterns can change based on those low amplitude, like low intensity, natural magnetic field changes, right? And so that could have something to do with the paranormal activity. And those train tracks that run for miles, they have a field, and I think it may be sort of like a highway, like a spectral highway, I guess is the way to put it. Like away goes spirits who are aware of their existence, in my opinion. And like almost sentient. They're aware of their situation, they're aware of their abilities. They may be twisted through the death process, and they may be malevolent in most cases. I find that there's not a lot of at peace spirits hanging around because they're at peace, right?
Right.
So anyway, I think the train tracks may be a way, and also, a lot has happened on train tracks. Country was founded on it. We were only able to be as big as we are because of the train tracks and the people that worked the rails and built the railroads, and there's a lot of history there. And I had a good lead on that. Speaking of which, in Butte, I found in the dirt in the cellar when I was cleaning up, building my lab. I found it was a token good for one whiskey or one cigar at this bar that used to exist right down the street. I followed it straight to exactly, had an address on it and everything, but this was a railway token, and so it was, you could use this up and down the railway. Was it the all the way out west. Anyway.
Yeah. Michael, do you have any more questions for KD? Because I know he has to go.
No, I was just curious about the investigation type thing because I have very little experience.
So did I answer?
Yeah, you did.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
I always worry that I'm just gonna ramble, and
I do too, man.
It's not gonna stop me, and they'll just let me go.
I do the same thing.
And then I didn't answer their question. I don't want you to walk away like, man, this
No,
you're good. You're good. Everybody, we do have to take our 5-minute break. We have to say goodbye to KD. He has a date with his son tonight, so that's a good thing.
Playing some Wreckfest.
There you go.
Right.
There you go. And so stick around, stay with us, because maybe we can talk Michael into pulling some Rebel cards for us.
Oh, yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. All right. We appreciate everybody, and we will see you back here in 5 minutes.
desperate on my knees to break. And I hear the voice of an angel telling me not to
nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for sticking around with us. We appreciate everybody. Brandy, I wanted to hurry up last time and get KD on, and we did not get a chance to talk about our event we have coming up at Ashmore.
Yes, in May. So, I mean, you heard us talk about Ashmore. You've seen the picture of the shadow person on the side. That was at Pythian Castle. We're going to be at Ashmore. The one where I'm looking like where I'm wearing the bat helmet.
Right.
That's the one we were at Ashmore, and we do have an event coming up there. You want to put I think we just have the whole flyer. We'll just talk about Ashmore tonight.
I actually have the link. Hold on. Let me see. I got the link here.
Well, just going to throw it out there. Yeah, we have tickets available. What we're going to do is we're going to have some speakers during the day. Then we're going to have dinner, and then we're going to ghost hunt for the rest of the night. It's going to be a fabulous event. You can go to what do we have it on?
I'm going to drop the link right now.
Right. It's in Eventbrite. Just look under Blondes and Booze, and it's the first event. It should pop up under May 18th. Terry Mosby is going to be there. with her group. She is helping putting us on with After Dark Paranormal. It's going to be a great time. I mean, this one.
And who else do we have coming, Brandy, for that one?
You're going to make me do this with nothing. I got nothing.
We have Josh Hurd from Malvern Manor.
Yeah. I'm like, I got nothing. I don't have notes or nothing. And we're going to try and get Robin Terry, who owns Ashmore Estates.
Robin has already confirmed.
Okay, we have him, and let me tell you, he has met. If you look on any paranormal show, I don't care if it's on YouTube, on Travel Channel, all of them have been to Ashmore Estates. And he's met all these people, and he's got some fabulous stories, so we're looking forward to talking to him too. I don't even know what else to say to it. It's just going to be a fantastic thing. Just a fantastic thing.
And we also... we're 90% sure we have someone else coming from the cryptid world that's pretty well known. She's got to confirm with us.
Yeah, she's got to confirm.
We'll announce her once we know for sure.
Right, absolutely. So that is May 18th, Ashmore Estates. Get on Eventbrite under Blondes and Booze, and it should be the first one that pops up. So go ahead and get your tickets now and get them confirmed, because we are only taking a minimum amount of people to ghost hunt that evening. So it's going to be a good one.
Yeah. And then the next thing, the end of this month, you and I are going to be at the Lone Star Paracon.
I know, 2 weeks away.
Yeah. 2 weeks from tonight. Well, we will be leaving tonight.
Yeah, we will be leaving, but it's 2 weeks from Saturday. 2 weeks from Saturday.
Right. We're going to do a layover in Fouke, Arkansas. And then the next day we're going to head into Schertz, Texas. And that's the lineup there. I know Jason Hawes had to cancel. So Sherry Benedetti has replaced him. And who else canceled? But we have Dustin Perry.
Yeah. Terry Lovelace had to cancel also, but we have Dustin Perry from Ghost Hunters. And Ghost Hunters International. So he will also be there. He's a great guy. Very motivational kind of guy. Great speaker. Yeah. So he's good to listen to.
And then the last thing we'll talk about is...
Of course. It's the Alabama Bigfoot Conference. You can go and get your tickets at BamaBigfootConference.com. That is in Anniston, Alabama, at Anniston Performing Arts Center. Of course, the speaker lineup is Barton, Nunnelly, Daryl Denton, of course, the Blondes and the Booze, Jason McLean, Greg Ogles, Martin Groves, and Bigfoot Michigan Rob. It's a very affordable event. And also the night before, we're having a meet and greet type of thing. But all you have to do is, once you buy your ticket, let us know you want to come to the dinner. We'll get you all signed up. Yep. And that's all you need to do.
And there are only, I believe, 5 tickets left for the dinner.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So if you're out there, get your tickets and get signed up. That way we can get you in. And there's no telling what we're going to do after that either. So we may go somewhere else and, hey, just show up there. If you can't make it to the dinner, just come visit with us. We'll be there.
Yep. And it looks like, I seen Barton in chat earlier, and Letitia's in there. And then Greg Ogles, he's also speaking. So he's been in chat.
Right.
And, so it'd be fun. Come see all of us.
Right. Okay. So I have this question, and we brought this up to KD when we were talking backstage, the few minutes we had with him. And I had asked him, because we had talked before about doing him creating some type of cryptid equipment. Mm-hmm. Because I'm thinking, what can we use? I mean, of course, people have used food and they've used trail cams. I mean, if we could possibly invent something, what would you think it would need? I mean, of course, I say a camera, a recorder. Do you think that
lights?
Well, yeah. In type of a motion detector,
right.
A motion detector to put lights on it, like a floodlight or something, that it would kind of trigger one, or because we can't do it just in one direction. It's kind of got to be more in like a 180 type situation, like you put up against a tree and it has a 180 view from side to side to the front.
Yeah. Well, we'll get a hold of KD and see if he can come up with something for us.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to. I think because there's so many questions about them being like we were talking about supernatural. Um, should we use like an EMF detector? Would that kind of help out? Or
We did try a REM pod, and it didn't do anything that night.
no, but we had it real close to us too. So I mean, we would need something that's an all-in-one type of device, so there won't be a lot of trying to track down all of these items, because you kind of have to hide them a little bit.
Yes.
So we would need something that it's all in one that we could just set it up and just leave it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Thought. If anybody has any ideas, let us know. We're all ears.
Yes.
We are all
Yes.
ears.
See, I've heard that theory too, though, about Bigfoot being interdimensional.
Mm-hmm.
And my only experience now, this is years ago, but people were asking me if I did like clearings and stuff like that. And I said, at the time I was like, no, until I know what I'm doing. And I've worked with somebody who does this, somebody who's trustworthy and ethical. So I'm not touching this, because at that point I was like, I don't want to make anything worse than it is. So long story short, a mutual friend of somebody I knew here in town came up, and he's Navajo, and he was teaching these clearings, and it's called the Feather Way. And one of the things he taught us was clearing not only people, and again, it's nothing, because I don't believe in attachments. That's just me. But it's the clearing the energy. There's gunk, right? It could be just crap you're carrying, just emotions, whatever. So he taught us techniques about clearing people, but he went on to further teach us how to clear space, like buildings, homes. And one of the techniques, they actually call in Bigfoot energy, like the spirit of Bigfoot. And what I found interesting, I was like, well, that's cool. And all of a sudden, I think actually, I can't remember now because it's been a few years. I can't remember if I said I saw an image of a Bigfoot or smelled the scent, but that got brought up, and he's like, yes, when they're there, you will smell this like mossy, earthy kind of smell. And it's like, when I actually smelled it, I was like, holy crap. And the image I had in my mind was of a juvenile Sasquatch that was helping us in the class. So I was like, it was just fascinating to just learn about that stuff and see other people's opinions.
Yeah. Are you like open to like the Bigfoot phenomena, the dog man,
I believe in everything. I believe that everything and anything is possible. I think if you don't at this point in our evolution as a species, you're living under a rock, because there's, especially me. I mean, I talk to dead people. Why would it be a stretch to say that there's these other beings?
Right.
You know? So I believe in everything. I mean, I my mind's wide open.
Yeah.
And again, if we think that we're the only inhabitants,
right. Yeah.
Right.
No,
I don't believe that for a minute.
No. So, but it's interesting. I mean, we all want that validation. Our human mind wants that validation. I still do. I want to have like I don't want to say, well, yeah, in a way, a physical experience when I'm communicating. And I'll just relay something really quick. And I think I might have brought this up in a previous show, but I'll talk about it just really quick. I had asked my sister, it's like, since we never got a chance to meet in the physical world, I'm like, I want to see you just for my human mind, just that to satisfy my human mind in some way. I either want to hear you, see you. And again, her message to me at that point was, then it brings up, it's like a fresh wound. It's like, here I am. Now I go away again, and now you're going to want more. So again, it starts that process of the whole thing over again. So I was like, all right, that was an interesting point. And she also said, be careful what you ask for, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And I do know other mediums that actually see physical, they see spirit just like they would a human. And I don't want that experience.
Yeah. William has a question for you. Have you received telepathic communication?
That's what mediumship is. It's telepathic. When I communicate with spirit, it's not like I'm having a conversation with a person that's crossed. It's all mind to mind. And a real, if you want to look at a physical or a just how I envision it to happen, It's,
Yeah.
you know, here's our energy. We just have this body, but we have a soul. We have an aura. We are a soul. So when that discarnate blends with mind, that's where my mind becomes aware of information that they're trying to convey to me.
Yeah.
So it's, I'm taking energy and translating it into a physical language. You know,
Right.
that's essentially what mediumship is.
Yeah, absolutely it is. You know, and a lot of people, you know, believe that they mind speak with like Bigfoot and creatures like that, you know, and I'm not doubting that they're communicating with something, but is it a Bigfoot? You know what I'm saying, where I'm going with this, because I feel like negative type energies prey on people who, you know, we all, and I've said this many times, we all trust, you know, the elderly, we trust children. So they'll appear as how something we want, if that makes sense.
Right.
You know, so, you know, I'm up in the air about people who are mind speaking with actual Bigfoot. I believe they're mind speaking and something's coming to them and they're communicating with something. However, I'm not sure if they're actually talking to like a Bigfoot or something.
Right. And you know, my focus is evidential mediumship. I don't try to communicate with anything other than people that have crossed, pets. And here's why. For me, I'm a skeptic. I am a 100% hardcore skeptic.
Yeah.
I have to have validation that what I'm doing is actually, it has to be validated by somebody, you know, and to each his own.
Yeah.
You know, if they want to communicate with Bigfoot, with aliens, my problem for me, this is just me, is I have no way to validate that the communication is happening. Whereas if I'm sitting with you and I'm communicating with somebody that you're connected with, they're giving me information to say, which can be validated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to me, I don't know. And it's just my personality too. I'm very impatient with things. And, you know, so that's just me. I just have to have validation.
Yeah. William says, I've been telepathic with animals like dogs since I was 15. You know, I have a cousin who, she speaks to animals too. You know, she can.
We all do. We're all capable of this. This is one thing I'll never stop saying this, you know, to people, that we all have this ability. It's just understanding how it works and then trusting in the process.
Yeah.
I communicate with animals just like I communicate with people. Again, they're not humans, they're spirit. So the communication is exactly the same. And when I'm communicating with an animal, I'm asking them, animals, you know, I'm asking them to give me something that's specific to that person's pet that they would understand. Not just if it's a dog, you like to jump up your lap. Well, that's a dog. But they'll give me the condition of passing. They'll give me their age, you know, stuff like that to just validate that that's them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And that's, I think that's really cool that, you know, my cousin that does it now, she does greyhound rescue, and she'll like tell you what this dog has went through, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, I find that amazing, you know, just.
I recently, and it's a thing, because I had a session with a family, and their son is nonverbal autistic. So the mom asked me, she goes, have you ever communicated with somebody that's still in the living? And I said, I have. I've communicated with my mother-in-law when she was, she had a stroke. She was in a coma, about to pass. And that was my first with that. And it was just eye-opening, because I'm like, again, it's just, everything's possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, with her son, I said, let me give it a try. And he just gave me stuff to tell them, and they validated. Like, he was telling me he loved sports cars. There was this thing about he admired and just was very interested in cars. The mom because she was on her phone, it was a Zoom call. She goes, you got to see this. We go into his room. She goes, the only poster on his wall is one of a Corvette. He loves sports cars. You know, and it was just other things about the family and everyday things that they do. She was validating because he was giving me this information, passing it, and there you go.
Yeah. William asked you another question here real quick. Do you have clairvoyant visions?
See, there's the thing. Clairvoyance is a European term for psychic. So these clairs are all different. And I think a lot of people throw these clairs out and they, and I've seen them mismatched and all that. It's all the same thing. Clairvoyance is clear seeing, right?
Yeah.
So, and it depends because I don't personally, and again, I'm thinking back in the beginning, I used to pay attention to how I receive information. I don't anymore. Everything comes together at once. And what that is actually called is clairsentience. That's when all the clairs are working as one. So I don't know if I don't pay attention if I'm seeing it, hearing it, feeling it. It's coming through and I give it. So clairvoyance is actually seeing images. And yes, I do. If the spirit person is trying to convey something, I mean, I'm just trying to think of a random experience I've had with that. If they want to talk about a vehicle that they admired, they will show me that car in my mind, and I know I got to talk about this vehicle.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It does. It does. I've seen on some TV show, and I don't remember who it was, but it was a psychic medium, and she went and spoke with somebody who was nonverbal also, and had been their whole life.
Yeah.
And the message, you know, it was pretty. It gave me the goosebumps because, you know, these people have never been able to actually communicate back and forth with their child, and through this medium they were able to. It was really cool because I mean it was like they were having a conversation, you know, about things, and it was just really, really cool.
Well, think about this image or this example just popped into my head. Do you have pets?
Yes.
Okay.
A lot.
We don't talk to our pets, but you know what they want, right?
Yep.
You know, it's the same thing. It's like, I know when my cat's jumping around, he wants to be fed. And if he looks at me and wants to go towards the door, I know he wants to go sit out in the garage. So it's that same thing. We're communicating through energy. We're probably not consciously aware of it, but you know, after you've had a pet for a while, you know what his certain behaviors mean.
Sure. Yeah.
It's the same thing with people that are nonverbal. Energy's energy, right? Our soul is always going to have a way to communicate somehow. It's just being open.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you, Paranormal Pixie member, for 3 months.
Yay.
Woohoo. Yay. Do you want to, we've got about 7 minutes if you want to throw some cards or.
Yeah, or answer questions. I'm
if anybody has any more questions for Michael, just, you know, let us know and just let us know.
Yep.
You know what? You can do one for me.
One for you.
I'll start it. And these are, anybody watching, these are
they're just for fun.
Yeah, they're just for fun. That is it. So
that's it.
And we won't say bad words live.
You know, and sometimes they do. It's like, here you go, time to let go. You know, of a situation that you're going through, and on the back is move the F on.
Yep, that's true. That's true. Spiritual Odyssey said she had a question. Maybe I did. Let me see. Oh, let's see. Oh, she did ask one. Hold on. How can you tell if you're communicating with a demon or a person who's passed? Good question.
See, it depends on the person. I don't have that mindset or fear of, I'm not communicating with a demon. No, I'm communicating with somebody that's passed, you know, and again, it's your belief. I just don't. Yeah. And that's stoked by fear. Yeah. A lot of what we have in our mindset is stoked by fear on what's on TV and what's popular in the moment.
Gotcha.
I'm not naive to believe that those things don't exist, but it's like, you know, when we talk about manifestation, you're going to get what you believe or what you think you attract, attracts like, right? So I don't have that mindset. Yeah. You know. Yep.
Indy Southpaw. Thank you, Donnie Cho. We appreciate that. Indy Southpaw asked for a card, please.
Indy South. So winning. You got a good thing going. Don't mess that S up.
Good deal. Good deal. All right. The next one. Freaky Geek says, I'll take Naughty card, please.
Get some effing sleep.
There you go.
You are being an ass. You can say ass, right?
You can say yes.
Because you're
Mhm.
effing tired. Face the pillow now.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, there was some more here. Christine Wilder.
Wow, this is pretty specific. Stuff is going down at your job right now. Or stuff is going down with your job. Reevaluate, change your perspective. I won't say the other part.
Let's see. No, she didn't want one. Let's see. Paranormal Pixie.
So I think this, again, applies to a lot of us. Put the phone down. Too much screen time is making you awkward. Go talk to a live person.
Put the phone down.
Let me see. The next one is 39 Shawnman.
Yep, Sean Man.
Drop the F and ego. Vulnerability is hot as F.
Well, there it is.
Yep.
Let's see.
Show your sensitive side.
Sensitive.
Yeah. Well, let's see if anybody else. Nobody else has said so. Hey,
Yeah.
that works. And it took us to the hour and a half mark.
There you go.
It sure did. That was pretty fast.
Yeah,
fast.
it was.
That was an interesting conversation. You know, like I said, I don't have that much experience with the investigating. I've only been on a couple.
Yeah.
So it's interesting just to get people's perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I honestly think, Michael, that you need to go in as an investigator and not as a psychic medium. I
Mhm.
think you really need to go in and do that first and see what you see. Just shut yourself down, but go see what you see.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Right.
I'm thinking that you'll have an eye-opening experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think so. With everything else that you've got going on, yeah.
I mean, I grew up, my grandparents' house was no doubtedly haunted. I don't know, did I ever show you, are you about to leave, right? We're about to
You're
fine.
good. I mean, as long as you're okay with.
Yeah, let me pull up this picture of my grandparents' house. So I grew up in this place for the
Okay.
most part. Hopefully I can put this up to the screen where you can kind of see it.
Oh, wow. What a beautiful home.
So on the reverse
Wow.
side, the other side, it's the same as the front. So it was built by a sea captain back in the late 1800s.
Yeah.
And we used to stay there a lot, especially we lived there during the summers.
Yeah.
And it was on top of the hill. I mean, when they bought this property, they had the chance to buy all of the the surrounding land, and they didn't. So it basically sat in the middle of like all these residential houses. I mean, it's a good chunk of land, but still. But oh my God, coming back, because we used to go running through town doing what teenagers do. And when we come up, they had a pool house, and that's where we stayed. So we didn't stay in the house because we were doing our own thing. But man, walking up to that house during the dark, I mean, all these weird shaped trees, and just your mind starts going, just you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And there was a few times inside the house that I'd be sitting down in the basement watching TV, and the door would just slam.
Yeah.
And oh my God, scare the bejesus out of me. There was this one area in the house, or in the basement, at the bottom of the stairs was like this coat rack. So all these coats. I don't know what it was about that space, but if I was going upstairs, I would run past the coat area.
Wow.
It was something about the energy there. It was just like,
Yeah.
I could not get up the stairs quick enough.
Did you know any of the history of the house or?
Just about the person that built it. Yeah. And
What year was it built?
It was like late 1800s. So
Cool.
probably I think it was like 1880, somewhere in there. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was quite the interesting place.
Yeah, it sounds like it. That is a beautiful home though.
Yeah. Yep. And unfortunately, after my grandparents sold it, The people that bought it kind of just let it go to ruins. I mean, the last time I saw it was all dilapidated, and
That's sad.
It was such a nice, fixture in the middle of town. I mean, it was, unique. So
yeah. Wow. So Brandy, what was going on with you when Michael was talking?
A light went from one side of my bedroom to the other, and it was bright. It just went. I was just like, that's what I was staring. I was like, oh, hello.
Wow.
Oh, at first I thought it was lightning because it is raining, but then I'm not hearing anything out there. And that's why I took my earbud out. I'm like, I hear nothing. And I thought it was lightning. And then I'm like, no, because it went from one side to the other side of the bedroom. So I was like, oh, hey.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it is raining. And, I don't know about anybody else, but paranormal activity does ramp up with the rain anytime that I'm around. So I don't know if that's with everyone else, but with me, that is true.
Yeah.
In our neck of the woods, it's not raining. It's -10 right now. So
we have that coming tomorrow until next Tuesday. We have the negative.
Yeah.
Temperatures.
Running through all next week. Yeah. We're gonna stay pretty high in temps tonight. It's not supposed to get below like 50.
Turn to ice and snow tomorrow here in St. Louis.
Not here though.
Yeah, and then we have more snow
I'm just gonna
coming.
have rainy, nasty weather.
More snow coming on Sunday for us. So
right.
Anyway.
Alrighty.
Well, I appreciate you coming on with us.
No, thanks for having me again.
Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome anytime for sure. And we appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. And I want to thank Paranormal Pixie for being a member for 3 months. Donnie Cho, thank you for that. And Crystal, thank you for that, for being a member for 6 months. And our buddy War Criminal, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody. We do appreciate it.
Yes, for sure. Because we travel a lot, and the money helps. It truly does.
It does.
In what we do. So anyway, with that being said, tomorrow night we have Ryan Tom from The Lost Frequency. Mm-hmm. And then we have another co-host tomorrow night, Paranormal Among Us, Paul. He's gonna hop on with us tomorrow night too. So that should be fun. Also, be a good show.
Cool.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yep. So until tomorrow night, we will see you all. Have a great night. Get some rest. Don't work too hard tomorrow. And we'll see you back here tomorrow night at 8:00.
That's right.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.